We're going to bring in our Monday Money Men, business and markets analyst and NewsMax contributor Seth Denson, as well as accounting professor at Montclair State University, Dan Geltrude. Good morning to you both. Okay, a quick look at the markets. They closed the week down on Friday. This morning, futures are also down ahead of the opening bell. All right, so as we inch closer to the U.S. debt ceiling deadline, one of the country's biggest banks is giving a drop-dead date of June 8th or June 9th for the U.S. to run out of cash. Dan, to you first. Okay, so do you think a decision will be made by the Memorial Day weekend?
I highly doubt it, because if Congress has another week to play around, they're going to take advantage of that. Look, I'm going to make a prediction here related to what's going to happen. Ultimately, a deal will be struck. I don't know all the details of what that'll be, but there'll be more spending involved. That's for sure. So this Congress, both parties, have never learned their lesson. They'll keep spending, and afterwards, they'll take a victory lap about it.
Dan, I hate to say it, but I think you are 100% correct on this one. So a major announcement from one of the top execs on Wall Street, the CEO of Morgan Stanley, announcing he's stepping down from his position within this year. And the announcement has now sparked a successor debate. Seth, break down what's going on.
Well, James Gorman's stepping down. He's been there. He's been the CEO since 2010. Really helped lift Morgan Stanley out of the '08 crisis. The old guard is in line to replace him. That's the early underlying thought, sparking the debate on diversity on Wall Street and why there may not be a woman or person of diverse ancestry considered. We'll see. Morgan Stanley does have a woman as their CFO, and there are board seats there. But it does strike this longer conversation about what these organizations will do. Investors, though, a little worried. Stock is down 2% on the news.
Oof. You know what? Let's just find the right person for the job. That's what we need to do. So we're almost halfway through 2023, and some are wondering what the Fed plans to do with those interest rates in the near future. Dan, to you now. So many analysts believe that Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve will actually not be cutting rates anymore the rest of this year. Do you agree with that?
Actually, I don't. And I'm not saying that's my personal feeling of what I want, but what do I think Jay Powell will do? I think they are going to raise the interest rates once again. We still don't have inflation under control, and we're certainly nowhere near the target of 2% that the Fed wants to get to. So I believe they will continue to raise rates at this point.
All right.
Alex, a little debate here, the market here. I disagree with Dan, and I don't find it a commonality to do that. I think we're going to hold rates. I don't think we cut them. But I think Jay Powell signaled months ago that he was going to get to 5.25 and hold, and I think that's what he'll do. I think the economy is on a razor-thin edge. But let's just mark this episode. One of us will be right.
All right, writing it down. Okay, we have a debate between you two. I love it. I love when we have different opinions. A Massachusetts judge has now declared a partnership between American Airlines and JetBlue a violation of antitrust laws. Seth, is this a win for travelers?
It's really too hard to tell, Alex, with the number of flights that have been cut as of late due to pilot shortage and other things. You would think that this would spark more competition, and this partnership, this wasn't a merger, this was a partnership, but the judge said that this was acting like a merger. Time will tell. My fear is that it really isn't going to have a big impact. Actually could potentially have a negative impact. It's not like American or JetBlue is going to expand their routes as a result of this.
Gotcha. From the skies to outer space, Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin has been awarded a coveted $3.4 billion contract to build a lunar lander to take astronauts to the moon. Dan, Bezos giving Elon Musk SpaceX a little run for its money, huh?
How about this? The clash of the titans beyond our earthly realm here. I mean, these two guys are larger than life, and they're battling over the space race. I think it's a very positive thing. Look, these guys have a ton of money, and the fact that they're willing to spend it again, battling each other for space exploration, I think it's a great thing.
Yeah. Well, meanwhile.
And Alex, here's what I love about this, real quick. This is a testament of the free market, not government solving problems and doing amazing things.
There you go, Seth. So meanwhile, Adidas will be starting to unload that inventory of all those unsold Yeezys at the end of this month. Seth, so the athletic wear company has chosen to do something very specific with the profits. What do you think about this move that Adidas is doing?
Yeah, they were in a little bit of a tizzy here because they didn't know what to do with this inventory. Their stock is way down. It's half of where it was a couple of years ago. And what do? Well, you sell it off. This $1.3 billion, but you're going to donate it to charity. It'll go to charities in George Floyd's name. So that's what they're going to do. It'll be good to get this inventory off their shelves, make a little money perhaps, and we'll see how much of it actually ends up in the charity's hands.
Yeah. All right. So finally, a piece of rock memorabilia sold for a pretty penny over the weekend. Dan, are you a Nirvana fan?
Well, yes, I am, as a matter of fact, but I am not going to spend $600,000 on Kurt Cobain's smashed guitar. Listen, I think it's great when this memorabilia goes for sale, and I'm always amazed at how much people are willing to spend, but it won't be me.
I know. I'm always amazed at seeing those numbers pop up. Seth Denson, Dan Geltrude, thank you both for joining us this morning. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.